Hello, hello. Happy Travel Tip Tuesday, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I am so excited to be here. It's been a little bit late. I am committed to come to you round about the 12:30 hour every week on Tuesdays, Travel Tip Tuesdays, to bring you travel tips, answer questions, and just be here for you however it is that you might need. It's been a bumpy week. I want to really give a shout out to the TSA in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the TSA at Love Field here in Dallas for just helping the transition for my mom coming in. She is in and out of the hospital over the holidays, and she was a trooper. And these people came and really just stepped in as she traveled alone. And she is getting stronger. But as I am adapting with the wellness tips of as we just enter into the stage of taking care of our parents, elderly parents, with people with chronic illnesses, I just want to shout out when traveling, because today's Travel Tip Tuesday. And hi, Colleen. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad that you're here. You're such a blessing always. We have this series this month that I have put together for you, is the top travel tips for you in 2022. And the special tips that I'm going to bring to you today is the travel tips as we've got some airplanes coming about, but the travel tips that are for being prepared and safe on the airplanes during the flights. I want to make sure that you have some tips. And just to let you know that we are celebrating the Cervical Health Awareness Month, the Thyroid Awareness Month, Walk Your Dog Month, National Hot Tea Month. When it's cold outside, when it's nice outside, it's a great cup of tea. Love Your Liver Awareness Month, National Mentoring Month, National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. So if there are some that I have not mentioned, please let me know. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle Maynard MacArthur, and I am your hospitality, health, and wellness strategist that is here to help guide you through a positive process for change with a lean, holistic, healing approach from the inside out. And that lean stands for lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition. I am devoted to you executives to help you improve your own health and well-being while you're finding that perfect mind, body, and soul balance between your self-care, your family, work, and of course the playtime that you give yourself. But first and foremost, I do want to share with you my why. And my why is that I am a survivor into a thriver of a progressive degenerative neuromuscular disorder along with depression for over 30 years now. But I am here with my voice sharing these tips, travel hat on today, and just sharing part of my life of how I go about day to day with the chronic illness as well of surviving and surviving into traveling into the world. I want to let you know that I am also a believer, and I am an educator, a speaker, advocate, and of course, a world-class traveler. You may notice too many uncomfortable pauses. If there's some swaying, just know that I always get back on track, and I appreciate your grace on that. We are bringing these tips, these travel tips to you from MacArthur Accommodations. And at MacArthur Accommodations, we are a hospitality, health and wellness coaching and consulting advisement company that specializes in that overall optimal health and wellness worldwide, with those innovations for you to reflect, recharge, and renew yourself one step at a time. I'm an international certified health and wellness coach that does complement a certification I have in traditional Chinese medicine, along with a 30-year career in hospitality, travel, tourism, site selections. So if you have a destination, if you have a place or some special tips that you would like me to bring to showcase for you, reach out to me. I am honored to really do my part within the help within the hospitality industry to make a difference and bring travel back in the safest and fun manner during this post-pandemic time. So the travel tips for you guys today is tip number one is understanding the policies of the airline you will be flying. Make sure you do that ahead of time. Although there's many guidelines during the pandemic that are universal, there are individual policies and they vary. So you want to make sure that you understand the terms and conditions created by each airline. The aviation authorities, that's something different. That policy does not govern the airline policies. There's two different ones. So according to the needs and preferences you have, make sure you understand the two. And another really important one on the policies is the middle seat being blocked, or are they reserving it that there is someone in between, especially right now while we like to still social distance? The policies on the airlines, it will lay out that approach to the concepts also of baggage, flight changes, seating, and so much more. So make sure you take a look at what those policies are so you understand. Tip number two for you today is disinfecting and sanitizing. So important. Bring your own emergency essentials, disinfectant wipes, hand sanitizer. Remember, you can bring 12 ounces on board, masks, essential oils, tea tree, lavender, eucalyptus. Those are all really good ones that you may need in your emergency kit. Gloves, alcohols, towelettes, moisturizers are just a few that are kind of important. And disinfect your airline seat, the tray, the armrest, all of the areas that's going to be in your personal space before you sit down. Avoid the high touch items. Those in-flight magazines, lots of information, but right now most of the airlines have taken those off. Restrooms, bins, just make sure that you are cognizant of that, but touching it before you haven't sanitized it, and just to make sure you're extra safe right now because there's a lot of viruses still going around. Tip number three for you today is understanding the air quality during flights. While air quality is so important in our homes and so important, right now I want to talk to you about when you're on a plane. And thank you, Colleen. Yes, I'm so glad to see you. And you are a thriver as well. So you understanding that air quality during the flight, travelers wearing a mask is only 0.03% of being exposed to those viruses, according to the DoD, which is the Department of Defense study. So there's many studies out there that so it can get a little overwhelming, but that was theirs. And then find out what type of air filtration is being used on the airline that you're traveling on board. Is it a hospital grade? Majority of them are using that. HEPA filters, that is HEPA, that removes 99.9% of airborne particles, which are included in viruses and other variants. So the other part on that air filtration and making sure is the clean air exchange. The outside and the filtered air go from making sure from the top to the bottom. And you want to make sure that they are filtrating that every 2 to 3 minutes, because that every 2 to 3 minutes is very important. You want to ensure that the airflow from the ceiling, like I mentioned, to the bottom versus from the front to the back, very important in minimizing those particles that are flying around that we don't even see sometimes in the cabin air, of that recirculating air that we hear so much about. Tip number four for you today, my friends, is typical rules and regulations to obey when you're in the air on the flight. Remember how security works and honor your flight attendants over what they say. Don't be argumentative. Be respectful about your electronics. They're constantly going up and down the aisles to turn all of your devices off. So just be cognizant of that and respectful. Also be respectful of your overhead bins. Make sure that you're just using your space. You're not hogging all the space. And then make sure that you just do what's for you. There's a certain amount of space so that the other travelers, the stress rate is usually high. People are anxious, nervous, and things. Bring that down. While you've heard me many times, of just be cognizant and be respectful and be kind when you're traveling. Of as far as when you're also know when it's okay to recline. You will hear the flight attendants bring your seat up, so just know, and then also be cognizant of the people sitting behind you when you recline, so that you're not hitting them or knocking them out. Manage your children and don't get too intoxicated, because it not only is affecting the other travelers around you, but it's extra work for the airline crew, that you want to be very respectful for that. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for joining. Fifth and final tip for you, my friends, today is the proper etiquette. The proper etiquette and fees that come about. What are change fees? Alaska Airlines and many others are actually, they waive the change cancellation fees, but some are not. So you want to make sure that you know which airline you're traveling before you get on the airplane, that you're not just nickel and dimed with a lot of change fees. Another type of fee is avoid the baggage fees. Use your miles. There's many airlines that will give you two checked bags. Southwest is very popular on this one. And then also check different fares. You can have different classes that will give you additional bags for you when you're traveling. Really needed that one with my mom coming back. She likes to pack a lot. I'm guilty too. The other thing is, when you are traveling, and this is my fifth and final tip under the proper etiquette, I want you to really think about that. That middle seat, we never think about it. The person sitting in the middle seat gets the armrest. Be respectful to them. Respect the lavatory. Don't just go in, make a mess. Make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself. Take those disinfectant wipes or whatever you need before and then after for the person coming in. Consider your odor. Are you wearing too much perfume? That's probably going to affect somebody else. Y'all are in close proximity. So consider that odor, as well as bathing. You don't want too much body odor or something, because that'll be embarrassing on you and another person. Don't force somebody to talk. If you see somebody just with the eye mask on, with their hat down, and they just want their own peace and quiet, don't force them to talk. Be respectful of that. And only get up during convenient times. If the tray table's down, if the flight attendant's bringing some drinks, don't get up during those times. So these are my 5 tips for you today when being prepared and safe on the airplanes during the flight. I do hope that brings you great value. I'm excited to be here. Go and drop us a line of what brought value to you. If there's something you'd like to share, put it in the comments. And then also, I'm going to put our YouTube. Please go to our YouTube, that we're going to be venturing out a little bit, and subscribe to that. I am looking to get my own URL on that for that. So I need to get 100 subscribers on that. I will put it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to wish you out on this beautiful day, a prosperous, productive, and blessed day. God bless you. Bye-bye.